My name is Misha Saidov, and I'm the founder of the Institute of Metacognitive Programming. We are a Canadian company. I live in Canada. I'm a Canadian myself. So we are a company with an eight-figure dollar turnover. I authored 20 plus coaching programs. I wrote a few books. Some of them became bestsellers. I am the member of the Forbes Coaching Council in the United States. I have created metacognitive programming, and this is a trademark. So we have now a certificate that protects the metacognitive programming. And I studied in Canada, and I graduated from York University in Canada. We have more than 150,000 students worldwide. I want to tell you three truths, and I suggest you write them down because they are quite important. So these three truths. The first one is understanding that external things will never make you feel better. Now, it is hard to believe, but let me ask you a different question. How many times have you tried to soothe yourself with food? With candies, with chocolate. Did it help to solve your problem forever? Or how many times the joy of acquiring a new item has worn off faster than in a month? You got, I don't know, a new car or a new piece of furniture, and 30 days after, the life is the same as it was before you bought a new thing. Or how often do you expect your partner, your husband or your wife, how often do you expect them to satisfy your needs? You feel unloved, you feel not valued, and whatever you do, whatever you ask from them, your need is still there. You feel empty. You still feel empty, even though you have a husband, even though you have a wife or a partner. So it didn't help. Or do you still think that money can buy you something that will make you feel better? Many of us, we believe that, if we had money, then we would be happy. Now, here is a deal with the money. I was the one who believes that as well. And people would tell me, no, money doesn't bring happiness. And I didn't trust them. So I decided to test it on myself. I would say, no, you don't get it. Like, if I had the money, if I had a lot of money, I would be very, very happy. So I went and I did it. Okay, I was climbing the career ladder, and I was managing hundreds of people, and I was making a lot of money, and I was still as miserable as I always was. So something was not clicking, like something was wrong. And what we need to recognize is that external is not responsible for internal. The way you feel internally is not affected by your external circumstances. You do not feel unloved because of your husband or because of your wife. You feel unloved because you always felt unloved. You do not feel not worthy because you do not have achievements or because you do not have children. I don't know, whatever you want to explain why you feel unworthy. No, you feel unworthy because you always felt unworthy. And there is nothing you can do externally that can fix it. So the criteria of growing up, if you want to ask yourself, am I an adult? Did I grow up or not? Is to answer this question. Do you still believe that something externally can make you satisfied and healed internally? If you still believe that, yes, something externally can help you, well, you have a lot of opportunity to grow up. Okay, that's truth number one. Truth number two, you cannot heal what you do not understand. You see, and let me ask you this question. Do you ever experienced emptiness or vacuum or deficiency, not enoughness in your chest? This is what we call the condition of being human. But you see, because you do not know what it is exactly, what this emptiness is exactly, you've tried to fill it in with other things from the external world. So, but it didn't work. Okay? Why it didn't work? Because if you do not understand what is going on there, you don't know how to fix it. What you are experiencing, the real problem, why you have emptiness, why you have vacuum, is actually something that helped you survive, that helped the whole humanity survive for thousands of years, maybe for millions of years. So, evolutionary, if you have a vacuum or an emptiness inside of you, you will be driven to acquire material resources. You will be driven to start mating with people, with like finding your partners. You will be driven to protecting what you have. Why? Because you believe that that will help cover your emptiness. And as a result, you will survive and your children will survive. And that's what evolution wants from you. Evolution wants your genes to be passed to another generation, and evolution wants to help you survive. So if there is enough vacuum inside of your body that feels different for everyone, and we are all different in some way, but we are also the same in many ways, but that will help you survive. Now, evolution is not interested in how you feel, whether you thrive or not. Evolution just wants you to survive. The problem is, evolution doesn't know that you are not a monkey anymore. You see? Evolution doesn't know that you are a divine being. Evolution still believes that you are a great ape. And if you're a great ape, you need to survive. It's not about thriving and feeling good and things like that. When you have this emptiness, how do you compensate for it? And this is easy to understand through what you depend on. You see, like your compensation strategy is easy to be understood. So how do you feel your emptiness? Food? Do you have problems with food? Right? Do you try to eat your problems away, eat your emotions away? Or maybe you use work and self-realization. So you're trying to work really, really hard so you don't feel. Or maybe you are seeking love and you are addicted to love and attention. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe you desperately need love, and that's how you are trying to compensate what you feel inside. Or maybe you want to feel needed, like people need you, and that's why you please them a lot and you do whatever they want. Or maybe you are after money, sports, adrenaline, new partners. So what are you looking for? Let's move on to the truth number 3. Now, you should be ready for it. This is hard. The third truth is that we are all under hypnosis. And that's the hardest thing to understand. Most people believe that hypnosis is something that you get in hypnotic sessions. Like, especially when you watch the show and there is a hypnotist and he's like boom, 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 and now you sleep, right? And then the guy, okay, so we think this is hypnosis. No, it's not a hypnosis, it's a show. Okay? In fact, what you need to know, there are very few people in the world who are able to go to sleep after someone says go to sleep. Okay? It's like maybe 5% of the whole population. Majority of people will not go into sleeping mode when someone says sleep, okay? They will be like, no, it doesn't work on me. So that's a stage hypnosis. But what you don't know is that you are already in hypnotic state. And this is what you don't know. You are already under hypnosis. Not exactly in trance, but under hypnotic suggestion. For example, some of my clients believe that for some reason they are unlikable and people reject them. Others believe that people, especially close to them, cannot be trusted completely and will eventually deceive or betray. Some of my clients believe that a loved one will eventually leave them and they will die alone. Somebody else believes that they are smarter than everybody else and that the rules do not apply to them. What you don't know is that it is a result of hypnosis. You see, hypnosis is the stage or is the state of your mind. And in this state of mind, you are susceptible to suggestion. What does it mean? If I tell something about you and you take it without critically analyzing what I tell you, and you internalize it and make it true, it means that you were in hypnotic state and you just took what I told you. You are suggestible. You see? What we don't know is that as children, we are non-stop in a hypnotic state. As children, we are in trance. I'll give you an example. Have you ever met a child who is playing something and you say, hey, come here. You call there by name, come here, and they don't hear you? Have you ever met a child like that? They don't hear you because they are in the middle of doing something right now and they're so concentrated and focused that no matter how many times you call them, they don't hear you. My children are like that. So why? Because in this moment, they are in hypnotic state. They are in trance. You see? And if you come to them in that state and you whisper, you're not good enough, you're not hardworking, you're not beautiful, they will take it and this will become the suggestion that they will use to live their lives. Okay, and this is something you don't know and you need to know because this is the truth. We believe that if you want to shift your identity to absolutely powerful future, to absolutely different life, we need to make 4 steps to make it happen. The first step, usually, is to understand your conditioning, your previous suggestions, your stories. Because if you don't know your stories, you are under hypnosis. You were suggested something, but you don't know about it. And because you don't know about it, you will be experiencing that in your life nonstop. Okay? Now, there is a problem. If you, for example, believe that you're not good enough, the whole world will be showing you that you're not good enough. Why? Because the world is a mirror. The world is just mirroring our state of being. You see? If you believe that your loved ones are using you, they will continue using you. Why? Because the reality is a personal reality, which is the mirror of our internal state. If you believe that your loved ones will abandon you, they unfortunately will abandon you. Why? because they will just mirror who you are. Okay? So the first step is to recognize from all the past, what are the stories that you decided to believe? And that's the first step. The second step is to accept where you were and become sincere about it, and become sincere about where you want to go. We call it becoming authentic about being inauthentic. The third step is, of course, acceptance and forgiveness. And the fourth step is agency, becoming the product of who you are, coming back to your true self.